Selamat pagi dan selamat datang. Very good morning and welcome to the second day of the ASEAN Leadership and Partnership Forum. Arsjad Rasjid, President of KADIN and Chairman of the ASEAN Business Advisory Council, Dr. Dino, Minister Dr. Chamrethi, Excellencies, distinguished speakers, ladies and gentlemen. Let me extend a very warm welcome to all of you to the ASEAN Leadership and Partnership Forum. At the outset, I would like to thank both KADIN and FPCI for your support of this forum that makes it possible for us to gather and meet here today. Terima kasih Pak Arsjad and Pak Dino. A special welcome also to all our distinguished speakers from the other ASEAN countries, as well as speakers from Hong Kong and Japan, who are with us here today as well. This forum brings together government, business, and think tank leaders to deliberate on the challenges and the key issues that ASEAN has to address, as well as to identify business and investment opportunities for the business community. ASEAN is the global epicenter of growth that has been so aptly described by the President of Indonesia as a theme for ASEAN this year. With global economic uncertainty, we need a new global growth hub, and increasingly, many people see ASEAN as that new hub. ASEAN is the world's fifth biggest economy collectively. It is a center for investment for China, Japan, Korea, and our partners from the West. ASEAN, however, I believe, must remain relevant to the next generation, who needs a greater sense of purpose, a greater sense of belonging to ASEAN, because it's the youth of ASEAN that will inherit the future of ASEAN. In this regard, we need to enhance and strengthen ASEAN people connectivity that needs to prioritize the next generation. In this regard, we hope that there can be more educational and youth exchanges among the ASEAN countries. ASEAN also faces the 4 I's challenges, and these are integration, inclusiveness, innovation, and infrastructure development. If we get these 4 I's right, I believe that ASEAN has a bright future ahead. The ADB estimates that ASEAN needs US 1.3 trillion in infrastructure investment to drive growth. And this is where our foreign partners, our dialogue partners, can play a critical role in helping to bring the infrastructure investment into our region. Our ASEAN Leadership and Partnership Forum promotes the sharing of ideas, best practices, and business partnerships. ASEAN must send a clear message that we are open for business and that we are business friendly. The ASEAN Economic Club, which so many of you are part of, and Pak Dino is one of our co-chairs together with Dr. Sipana, believes that we need to promote business with a purpose. And I think purpose-driven business will provide a key advantage for ASEAN companies, not only to develop your business and to have shared prosperity, but to contribute to the well-being of society. We wish to note that today the program have had a long lunch break, as it is Friday, and we are allowing time for our Muslim friends for Friday prayers. Please enjoy the forum and use this forum to exchange knowledge and ideas, as well as to network with one another. Once again, I thank KADIN, FPCI, our sponsors, and all the distinguished speakers for being with us here today. Sekian, terima kasih.
Thank you for the introductory speech, Tan Sri Michael. Tan Sri Michael touched on a few points, starting with the ASEAN theme, ASEAN Matters, epicenter of growth, and how Indonesia really is the heart of ASEAN. He spoke with the 4 I's. Yesterday was the 4 C's, today the 4 I's, tomorrow the 4 E's maybe. And he spoke about ASEAN must be open for business. Next, we have another welcome speech by Bapak Arsjad Rasjid, Chairman of Indonesian Chamber of Commerce and Industry, better known as KADIN, and Chair of ASEAN-BAC Business Advisory Council Indonesia, and Co-Chairman of ASEAN Leadership Partnership Forum to deliver the welcome remarks. And with that, let's give him a round of applause as he makes his way to the stage.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan. Dear Your Excellency and honorable guests, firstly allow me to thank the KSI Strategic Institute for Asia Pacific, Tan Sri Michael Yeoh, as chairman for organizing this event, and also to Pak Dino Patijalal, our good friend, who actually connect me to you, Tan Sri. It is an honor to be speaking here. I would also like to welcome the distinguished speakers and guests to the second day of the 2023 ASEAN Leadership and Partnership Forum with the theme of ASEAN Matters, Center of Growth, Opportunities, and Prosperity. Let me just introduce myself. My name is Arsjad Rasjid. I'm the chairman of the Indonesian Chamber of Commerce, and this year I'm also chairing the ASEAN Business Advisory Council, or ASEAN-BAC. Ladies and gentlemen, honorable guests and excellencies, over the last several decades, Southeast Asia has demonstrated charismatic potential for economic development. The region has seen a steady rise in GDP every year, and ASEAN members combined is the world's 5th largest economy and the 4th largest exporting region. Because of this, Southeast Asia's economic activities hold a growing impact on global trade, thus having major implications on the future of investment and the resilience of the global supply chain. One major purpose of ASEAN as an intergovernmental organization is to accelerate economic growth, social progress, and cultural development in the region, executed through steering policy reforms to assist our member states. Today, ASEAN is no longer a regional power, which sits on the sideline of the global economic development. The countries in our multilateral grouping are regarded as the future base of global production and consumption, or as our government has defined it, as the new epicenter of growth. As a result, it is within our best interest to approach the futures of ASEAN's development with the spirit of togetherness and cooperation as a solid community. We should strive to work together to improve the quality of life, health, and incomes of our citizens, especially for those who might need the most. We believe in cultivating an environment of inclusive collaboration, or in Bahasa we call it gotong royong, under the principles of Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, unity in diversity, in order to formulate policies that fosters a sense of community and sensitivity between ourselves, Therefore, Indonesia's ASEAN chairmanship this year brings together a theme, ASEAN Matters, Epicenter of Growth, with 16 priority economic deliverables pushed through 3 strategic thrusts that covers recovery building, digital economy, and sustainability. We face heavy challenges, both within our borders, but also at the global level. Although our members focus most of their attentions on domestic affairs, we have found that it is not only empowering, but also necessary to operate as a unit under ASEAN to address issues we might otherwise not able to take on ourselves. However, we have to navigate the evolving challenges ASEAN faces today, such as the ongoing geopolitical tension, post-pandemic era, environmental concerns and sustainability, and the rapid growth of digitalizations and e-commerce. Alongside Indonesia ASEAN Chairmanship 2023, as the ASEAN Business Advisory Council, or ASEAN-BAC, has decided this year's cooperative business theme to be ASEAN Centrality, innovating towards greater inclusivity. For theme seamlessly synergizes with the ASEAN's Indonesia's chairmanship, pushing for a greater and stronger public-private collaboration. The motto represents our belief of centrality as our destination. Innovation is our vehicle, and inclusivity is a non-negotiable practice throughout this journey. We develop strategies on how ASEAN should respond as the epicenter of growth, opportunities, and prosperity, with consideration of this crucial role of business ventures. What do we mean? What do we mean by ASEAN as the epicenter of growth? We from business observe 5 key elements and enablers: economic resilience, demographic dividends, digitally promising growth, green economy prospects, and vast consumer base. According to those 5 enablers, ASEAN-BAC has identified 5 priority issues that act as the apex or as the center of our development, and to address this issue, we established a framework of 8 comprehensive legacy programs. These priorities and legacy programs represent Indonesia's unwavering commitment in advancing the ASEAN region. This year, the key policy reforms and advocacy initiatives are based on these strategic issues: digital transformation, sustainable development, health resilience, food security, and facilitating greater trade and investment intra-ASEAN. Moving forward, to supplement efforts on addressing the 5 priorities, 8 legacy projects are designed to supplement and facilitate progress towards our goals. For digital transformation, we have 3 legacy programs, namely the ASEAN QR Code, creating cross-border QR code as common digital payment and currency, and local currencies. The marketplace lending platforms, which provide a lending platform for matching investors and micro, small, medium enterprises. Wiki Entrepreneur, which will be one-stop digital platform such as WikiLearn, WikiDo, WikiScale, dedicated to help MSMEs grow with the concept of 3 M's: mentorship, market or access to market, and money or access to funding. For sustainable development, we have two legacy programs. ASEAN Net Zero Hub, a hub to help private sectors to embrace and initiate their net zero journey. It's a challenging journey, and develop their net zero emission achievements. Carbon Center of Excellence, a platform to scale up carbon trading activities through a knowledge hub and a practice sharing center. They say ASEAN is the lungs of the world. We need to be part of the global conversation. Moving forward to ASEAN One Shot campaign as the legacy program for health resilience, bring together leaders to harness the potentials of next generation vaccines and injectable therapeutics to make sure that we are ready for the next pandemic. Although we don't want that, but we need to be ready. We need to be resilient. We need to be able to work together. Next, the inclusive closed-loop model for agriculture product. To ensure our priority for food security, we need to think about the food security of ASEAN. But at the same time, we cannot leave our farmers behind. With aims to empower MSME and farmers with finance, knowledge, technology, and market access. Lastly, a new ASEAN business entity to provide trade and investment facilitation by giving policy incentive for ASEAN business entities. Under Indonesian chairmanship, we cannot merely use the perspective of Indonesians without having the region's outlook at the forefront of our work this year. Next slide, please. Therefore, as part of our work policy advocacy and for greater economic policy reforms, we have conducted roadshows to ASEAN countries such as the Philippines, Vietnam, Singapore, Cambodia, Brunei Darussalam, and most recently, Myanmar. And just to touch on a little bit of this roadshow, one good example is in Brunei, where we as ASEAN, we say we need to work together and align with APEC too. APEC, you need to hear from our perspective. And so we were given the time to actually spoke at APEC and also talk with the APEC members from ASEAN countries, how we can align our conversation. There is so many conversations in the world. We need to align this conversation. And at the same time, we need to also understand what we want, what ASEAN wants, so that we can tell the whole world, this is what ASEAN needs, and this is what ASEAN wants. Ladies and gentlemen, the priorities and legacy program of the ASEAN-BAC move accordingly with Indonesia's ASEAN chairmanship, with more focus on emphasizing more public-private sector collaboration to achieve our goals. In Indonesia, we call it Indonesia Incorporated, where the public and the private works together. We say, let's create this ASEAN Incorporated, where the government also and the private sectors should work together. Not just a motto of PPP, but real. ASEAN-BAC will promote investment across all 10 member states of ASEAN and Timor-Leste as an observer. I just came back from Labuan Bajo, and we had a meeting with our leaders yesterday. And we also bring in Timor-Leste as part of the observer. And in the economic or members of the ASEAN-BAC, we are complete. All the 10 ASEAN countries, including Myanmar, attended this because, again, we need to make sure inclusivity. We will strengthen local business and improve the competitiveness of our domestic products. We will matchmake and bring business together and showcase the strength of our industries. One of the cases is we propose together within the Indonesian government and also ourselves is the creation, as one example, the electric vehicles ecosystems. We should think within ASEAN businesses, not as just competition, but complementary. Competition is important, but complementary values within ASEAN to build this ecosystem that will answer the global supply chains and also to strengthen the regional supply chains as ASEAN and how we can actually be able to provide as part of the global supply chain. We will empower MSMEs to foster a sustainable and mutual growth to all businesses in Indonesia and ASEAN. Lastly, in 2015, the leaders of ASEAN adopted a roadmap entitled ASEAN 2025, forging ahead together. Fast forward to 2023, Indonesia chairmanship is launching what we call a Grand ASEAN 2045 vision. As the Business Council of ASEAN, we are committed to be the co-driver to achieve the ASEAN 2045 vision. We will have our flagship events, the ASEAN Business and Investment Summit, or ABIS, and also the ASEAN Business Awards, or ABA, on 3 and 4 September this year in Jakarta. Here's just a glimpse of our activities in ABIS, and there will be a plenary session, investment forum, business awards, and more. And here's a glimpse of our targeted speakers for activities in ABIS. We would like to invite you all to ABIS. As we move forward with our mission to promote investment, enhance the competitiveness of our region, it is crucial to consider the various enablers of ASEAN growth and prosperity. With that in mind, I would like to express my appreciation to all the attendees for joining us today. The main reason behind this big effort is simple and straightforward. Because we believe that ASEAN truly matters, not in the future, not tomorrow, but now. ASEAN can lead and play a bigger role in the global stage. And we have the capability to serve as a point of light under the dark clouds of deepening geopolitical risks, economic disorders, and uncertainties. I think all of us here believe ASEAN matters. And with that, I would like to say thank you very much, and wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you so much, Dr. Arsjad.
You don't mind, I will set up the, the QR code for the ABIS, if you don't mind. If you want to attend the ABIS, that's the QR code, and we can also give it to you. But again, appreciate, and we need your inputs for the program itself. If you have anything that you would like to be part of that programs, we welcome that. Again, inclusivity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Bapak Arsjad. We'd like you